Arcade Heroes.
Greetings, it's Adam with ArcadeHeroes.com, and in some recent comments that I keep seeing pop up on videos related to Maximum Tune 5DX Plus, keep getting questions as to why the United States is still on 5DX Plus and not the newer 6RR. And I did explain this in one of those videos. It's just I tend to get into some pedantic, autistic rambling, and nobody watches that, so I'll keep this short and sweet to give you an answer as to why North America doesn't have it, and that answer is money.
All right, that's it for me.
Oh, you're still here. Wow. I guess since you decided to stick around, I will provide more detail than just that. Yes, it's still related to money, but to be more specific, it's about licensing. And so when you design a racing game like this, it takes millions of dollars to develop. It's not something that you can just throw together from wishes and dreams. And particularly when you're doing a racing game, you're probably not going to design your own race cars like they did back in the San Francisco Rush games, but you want to license actual real-world brands and cars to throw in here, as that becomes part of the appeal. And so to do that, you need to license those things, and that requires a crap load of cash. Now, how much does it require? Well, it depends on how many vehicles you want to license it, which brands you want to license it from, and so on. And with Maximum Tune 5 and the subsequent updates and whatnot, they have quite a few different brands to choose from. And with the 5DX Plus update, they added, I believe it was 24 new cars, including the Lamborghini, which that by itself is not cheap. And all of those combined are not cheap. Now, one of the brands on here I know costs Bandai Namco somewhere in the high six-figure range just to license for North America. And that's another thing too. If you're a car executive and a video game company comes to you wanting to license it, not only are you going to make sure you're going to get the best bang for your buck, but there's also regional things to consider. Some cars may not be available in some areas, and some car companies do not want their cars in a video game that's going to be in those regions. And so while you could get a worldwide license for certain things, that's going to be a lot more expensive. And so it's a little bit more economical to not have to license it worldwide if you're not going to be releasing it worldwide. And this is a big reason why the 5s never came out in Europe. And then on top of that, just things kind of fell behind. 5DX Plus was supposed to come out in North America back in 2020 or so, but there's that pandemic thing that's always fun to blame, but it actually can be blamed for certain things, such as the delay behind this release. And so on top of that, Bandai Namco said that a lot of fans weren't really fond of 6 and 6R. Now, it does sound like 6RR is good, but that would require a lot more licensing. And from my understanding, the licensing costs had already been covered with 5DX Plus, and so it just would have been, I guess, a bigger, more expensive challenge to do when it came to 6RR. And so will we ever see 6RR in North America officially? Probably not, but I'm pretty confident there will be a Maximum Tune 7, and so we'll see what happens when that rolls around. But if you're really, really curious about that, or you're just trolling, then that's the answer why. It's generally come down to licensing, and so that's just part of the reality of the arcade business. So, if you have other questions about the arcade business, be sure to ask in the comments and whatnot. I'll be doing a video about game design, arcade game design, here soon to get more specific into that, because I've also had some questions about that and thoughts, and so we'll get there eventually. So thanks for watching this one, and we'll catch you on the next video.